There's this one story that has hooked us for thousands of years. It's the tale of this incredible, super advanced island civilization that just vanished, swallowed by the sea in a single day. It's the legend of Atlantis. So let's really dig into it.
You can probably picture it right now, can't you? Gleaming towers, a mighty kingdom, and then it's all gone, consumed by the ocean. It's a story that feels so ancient, so powerful. But where did it even come from? And what if by searching for a real place, we've been missing the entire point of the story all along?
So here's our game plan. We're going to trace the journey of this myth. We'll start at the very beginning with a philosopher's tale. Then we'll see how that tale turned into this global obsession. We'll look at what the hard evidence actually says. And then we'll explore why sometimes, just sometimes, stories about sunken lands turn out to be true.
All right, to get Atlantis, you have to go back to one guy, and one guy only, the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. It all starts with him. Now this is kind of wild, but every single book, every movie, every internet theory about Atlantis, it all goes back to just two texts, written by Plato around 360 BC. Now he frames it as this old story passed down from Egyptian priests, but don't let that fool you. He's our one and only original source, period.
So, the big question is, was Plato writing history? Well, the consensus among experts is a resounding no, not a chance. He was using a really common tool for philosophers back then, an allegory. The story wasn't meant to be a historical record. It was a thought experiment, a way to talk about big ideas like power and society.
And man, could Plato tell a story. He describes the end of Atlantis so dramatically. A single day and night of misfortune, and poof, this massive empire is just gone. It's such a powerful image, and that was the whole point, to make his philosophical lesson unforgettable.
Okay, so here's the absolute key to understanding the whole thing. Plato basically invented Atlantis to be the bad guy, so he could make his version of ancient Athens look like the hero. In his story, Athens is the perfect state. They're orderly, humble, virtuous. And Atlantis? They're the total opposite. They're rich, powerful, ambitious, and totally corrupted by their own arrogance. It's a classic cautionary tale. Virtue wins, greed loses.
For centuries, pretty much everyone got it. They understood Atlantis was a fable. But then, in the 19th century, something changed. The story was reborn, not as a philosophical lesson, but as a literal hunt for a real lost continent.
It all kind of kicked off with this guy, Ignatius Donnelly. He claimed Atlantis was a real super civilization, the mother of all others. From there, it got picked up by mystics and psychics like Helena Blavatsky and Edgar Cayce, who added all this stuff about psychic powers and reincarnation. And today, the internet has just exploded with theories, pointing to dozens of locations all over the globe.
And this hunt is still going strong today. I mean, people have theories about dozens of places. Just look at this poll from an online forum. The Richard structure in Africa, the so-called Eye of the Sahara, is a huge one right now, mostly thanks to internet videos. Other popular ideas link Atlantis to the Minoan civilization on Crete, or islands out in the Atlantic.
Okay, so we have all these wild theories. But what happens when we step back from all the speculation and just, compare Plato's story to what we actually know from science and history? Well, the picture gets pretty clear pretty fast.
Let's break this down. Plato says his story happened around 9600 BC. But what was the world actually like back then? Well, it was the Stone Age. Humans were just starting to figure out farming. Yet Plato describes this huge empire with cities and writing and a massive navy. A war with Athens? The city of Athens wouldn't even exist for thousands of years. The timeline is just completely impossible. But, okay, fine. What about actual proof? After all these centuries of searching, all the expeditions, all the theories, surely someone must have found something, right? Just one piece of pottery, one tool, one inscription from this massive empire.
Yup, zero, zilch, nada. There is not a single confirmed Atlantean artifact, not one ruin, not a single piece of physical evidence that's ever been verified. Outside of Plato's own book, the historical record is completely silent.
And that really brings us full circle. It's like the philosopher Julia Annis says, the whole point of the story was to make us think about big ideas like government and power. If we're just digging around the bottom of the ocean, we are totally missing the point Plato was trying to make.
But, and this is where the story takes a really fascinating turn, Because while Atlantis itself is a myth, the idea of a whole land getting swallowed by the sea, that's not always fiction. Some of these legends are actually echoes of very real disasters.
There's this amazing field called geomythology, and what these scientists do is they look for the real geological truth that might be hiding inside an ancient story. And what they're finding is incredible, that cultures can sometimes pass down the memory of real events for thousands of years just through storytelling.
Take India, for example. It's a perfect case. For centuries, people told stories about temples lost to the sea at a place called Mahabalipuram. Everyone thought they were just myths. And then the 2004 tsunami hit. It churned up the seabed and briefly revealed the ruins of an ancient city, exactly where the legend said it would be.
And it doesn't stop there. You see this all over the world. A legend about a lost island in the Pacific, it probably records a real earthquake and landslide. And maybe most incredible of all, some Australian Aboriginal stories have accurate descriptions of the coastline from over 7,000 years ago. A memory of the end of the last ice age, passed down generation to generation. It's just mind-blowing.
So, okay, Atlantis wasn't a real place. We know that now. But our obsession with it, that is very real. We just keep retelling this story, keep searching for this place. And that leads to the real question, doesn't it? The story might have started with Plato, but the reason it's still around is because of us. It taps into our wish for a lost golden age, our fear of disaster, and maybe a warning about our own ambition. Perhaps the real discovery isn't finding Atlantis in the ocean, but finding what the idea of Atlantis says about us.